The Elementary and Secondary Education Act was passed as part of President LBJ's war on poverty and has been one of the most far-reaching federal legislations affecting education ever passed by the US Congress. The Act is an extensive statute that funds primary and secondary education and also emphasises equal access to education and establishes high standards and accountability. Additionally, the bill aims to shorten the achievement gaps between students by providing each child with fair and equal opportunities to achieve an exceptional education. The Act was originally authorised in 1965. However, the government has reauthorised the Act every 5 years since its enactment. Over the decades, it has gone through a number of changes, most notably the reauthorization of Title I by President George W. Bush, known as the No Child Left Behind Act. Title I of the original Act is a provision of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act passed in 1965 and is a program created by the US Department of Education to distribute funding to schools and school districts with a high percentage of students from low-income families. The most recent change and probably the most significant to the original Title I was the No Child Left Behind policy, which requires increased accountability from schools, both from the teachers and from the students. Standardized tests were mandated in order to measure how schools were performing against the achievement bars set by Title I. Schools were also responsible for publishing annual report cards that detailed their student achievement data and demographics. Schools were now held accountable not only by punitive measures that would be taken if schools failed to meet the adequate yearly progress, but also corrective actions were taken if states did not have an assessment system approved by Title I. Arguably one of the most negative effects of the No Child Left Behind Act is the mandating of standardized tests to measure how schools are performing. The Policy Act increased the number of federally mandated tests from 6 to 17. Unfortunately, standardized tests take away valuable instruction time from students, forcing teachers to teach to test, as well as adding extra strain on students and strain on teachers if their school can't meet the often absurd requirements of standardized testing. And today, a student can be expected to take up to 113 standardized tests during their time at school. Despite this, overall the Elementary and Secondary Education Act has had a far-reaching positive effect on education, and one of those is its effect on bilingual education. Beginning in 1980 with President Jimmy Carter establishing the Department of Education, allowing for the Bilingual Education Campaign to expand bilingual education programs, later followed by President Clinton, who showed his support through the Improving America's School Act of 1994.
Created using Powtoon.